Open the door. Welcome to Puro, Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, and tonight, shut up, phone. I am joined by my guests, Jengalang J, Manza Mike, for some UFC MMA talk. Some fight talk, really. It's been a minute. How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Chilling.
Good, man. Did you tell him to call you Jengalang J?
That's my name in the.
He put it in the thing. I don't pop up the names no more, but I can see it down
I don't
there.
see it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, freaking weirdo. Jengalang. Guys, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since y'all been on being able to talk some fights. You know, last time we talked about some fights. Someone went 3 for 3. The others went 1 for 3. I wonder who that was. No. Oh, it's you guys. What's up?
What up, man? What up? At the end of the day, I'm not wearing a tutu on Sunday, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah, you didn't have to shave your beard. Not that you can grow one, but or you know.
It's not that he can't grow one; it's he chooses not to. He looks the part. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Superman didn't have a beard.
Look. Now that I have increased my Rocket League level to champ status,
the champ is here. The champ is here.
Speaking of, I was telling Jay, it took me all evening, bro. I started playing at like 5, and I just finished right now about 7 o'clock trying to D-rank. So thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you. It's not my fault we played 17 games and won all of them. I didn't think we'd go that far.
It was a good amount of games, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Enough of that. No one cares about our gaming status. You can find Jengalang J at whatever name he has this week. I don't know what it is, but whatever. He'll beat you on some Call of Duty. But if you team up with him, he might leave you behind. Just let you know right now.
I'm gold.
He's gold status, guys. Come on now. All right. UFC 284 this Saturday. Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski, champ versus champ. Jay, talk to me about it. Talk to me about it, man.
It's been a long thought process on this one. It's a big fight, but if I'm just gonna throw my choice out there, I'm saying Volk. I think Volk's gonna be able to defend the takedown. He's gonna piece him up with his hands or his knee, and I don't think Volk is gonna be slumped like everybody else.
I mean, we saw him get taken down by Ortega caught a few times in submission holds. I would say Islam's a more dangerous fighter on the ground than Brian Ortega. You're confident that he will be able to avoid all that?
Have you seen his training camp lately?
I mean, you know, freaking Islam was pumped with steroids at the age of 2. Like, you know, this kid's been fighting bears. You know, all the Dakistans have. So, I mean,
his training camp this fight looks wild. It looks intense. I think he's going to have, yeah.
Okay.
I think he's going to be something special for sure. I mean, they're both in their prime. Mike and I were talking about this yesterday, but they're both in their prime, I would say, or at least as fight-wise they are. But I'm going to give it to Volk, man. I'm sticking to it. No changing. It's the way I chose it.
Mike, how are you feeling about it overall? Like, does Islam retain the crown at 155 and continue, I guess, the legacy of Khabib?
I've been kind of back and forth with multiple people, including myself, on this pick. But if I was a betting man and I was putting my chips in, I'd go Volk, man. I think he's definitely not the favorite. I feel like most people have Islam to win, whether it be by size or just his dominant will that he has.
Fight.
Yeah, but I think Volk, like Jay's saying, right now is at a different level. I think his intensity, his training camps have been fantastic. It's been showing in his fights with how dominant he's been as a striker. I do feel like he's a lot stronger than people give him credit for. And I think that's what's going to help him when he does, because he's inevitably going to get taken to the ground at some point during this fight. I do feel he's going to do well getting back up to his feet. And a stand-up game, I don't think Islam really touches or even comes close to what Volk has to offer as far as striking goes.
Let me add something. I forgot to add that. Khabib's not going to be in his corner this fight either.
He's retired from coaching and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
spending time with family.
that's a different. Now you're in a different ball game. You don't have your person that's been there with you doing this. Especially when you fought Charles, he was there. So
So one thing, I don't mean to cut you off. I felt like you were going to say something, but one thing that because Jay, you mentioned it, right? Volk, he brought some wrestlers in. He's had long time relationships with some people who are big time wrestlers, and I think that's where Charles was a little behind as far as the ground game goes. He's a great submission artist, but I don't think he understood really the strength that Islam had coming into that fight.
Compared to like a Chandler who he fought previously.
Correct. And Volk, I think, has had more history with wrestlers. He maybe hasn't spent as much time on the ground, but at least he has that training. He's been around the wrestling game a bit more. And like I said, I think his strength alone is going to be part of the reason that I would give him the slight edge over Islam.
I mean, I agree. As far as what y'all saying, as far as who I'm picking the winner, y'all know how I feel about Alexander Volkanovski. That dude, I've been riding that train since he fucking mollywopped Max the first time. Honestly, I would say I wouldn't go as far as like the Jose Aldo or anything like that. But once I saw how impressive it was. He beat Holloway the first time. It's just tough to believe, bro. Like he's beaten him 3 times, who was at the time considered now the new greatest featherweight of all time. He fucking wrecked Zombie, the Korean Zombie. Brian Ortega, he beat Brian Ortega so badly his girl left him. And
what fight? And I'm kind of curious. What fight? I know you said the Max Holloway, the first fight, was what really put you on to the Volk train. But was it that fight that had you believing Volk was just ready for stardom or greatness, or was it another fight that you were like, yeah?
I'm gonna say the fight with Ortega, because when he got the Ortega fight and was put in that peril, because I know that him and Holloway were piecing each other up. They were basically, to a lot of people, 50-50. But when he found himself in a position where he could lose multiple times, not just once, the guillotine, I think it was like a knee bar, arm bar, triangle, multiple submissions, like he found himself in a position where he could have easily just tapped out. Because in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they tell you real quick, if you find yourself your ligament like stretched out or in peril, just tap, save yourself for another day. He fought through all that and still looked dominant. Pieced up Brian Ortega even worse than what Max Holloway did to Brian Ortega when they fought a few years prior. And then the way he confidently following after that, the Korean Zombie fight. Yes, Zombie is not in his realm of tier fighter, but he pieced him up.
Either.
Huh?
He's no chump either.
He's not. He's not. But he made him seem outclassed. And then when the third fight with Holloway, we were all there together. That was not even close.
No,
sorry,
and
it was. I mean, he was devastated. Yeah,
you just choose the wrong person sometimes.
It happens, but regardless, like that continuance of everything. Because I remember when I first told y'all Volk, y'all looked at me a little crazy because he is moving up just a little bit, right? Like at first, y'all were like, maybe not, y'all hadn't really thought about it, really about the fight yet. But when I instantly just said Volk, y'all looked at me like, you sure? And then I think y'all thought about it, and it was like, okay, you know what, baby? Yeah, you're right.
You know, he has to cut at his current weight or his current title weight. He has to cut, and I think he sits at a higher weight naturally. So
remember, this guy was a 200-pound rugby player. Yeah, so I mean, if anything, he's gonna feel really good going up a weight class. Different from when Max Holloway moved up to 155 for that one fight against Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. So going back to what you just said, as far as when you mentioned Volk, part of the reason why I was kind of hesitant at first is because I didn't expect him to dominate Charles Oliveira the way he did. I really didn't. So after that fight, I made sure to put some respect on Islam's name, you know. And I think I was kind of hesitant to count anybody against Islam at the moment.
Because he beat one of our favorites.
Yeah, and that was a tough loss. But I think watching Volk and hearing him talk about this fight and seeing how focused he is, it's not what Charles was doing. And I mentioned this when we talked about that fight. Charles didn't seem like he was all in for the fight. He was looking past Islam. He wasn't locked in. And I mean, it showed. And Volk's not making the same mistake. Volk is doing what he needs to do. He's upping the intensity in his camps. I think you saw it in the Brian Ortega fight. He has grit. There's no quitting this guy. He's going to go all out. And I think, his striking is just levels above Islam, and that's where the big difference is going to be.
I mean, Islam, we have to put respect. I think it was not even long ago, like a few years ago, we actually hopped on an episode after he won a big, not a big fight, but he looked very impressive. I think it's Drew Dober, and he kind of wrecked them in the submission game, wrestling game. And in that moment, and again, I'll say, maybe y'all looked at me sideways. I said he would become a champion one day because at the end of the time, Khabib had already retired or something like that. He's unimpressive, but at the same time, I do believe outside of Charles, this is his biggest challenge yet because he hasn't really fought nearly the top 10 guys that Volk has had in his division or even Oliveira in his division. This will be his biggest challenge yet because, yes, he has better wrestling, but he doesn't have better striking.
Not close. Not even close to better striking.
And the same way that we can say Islam has that strength in him, right, because of his Pakistani training, the wrestling from Khabib and everything like that, and his father, Volk as a rugby player is not a joke. When you're running around at 200 pounds, 205, and you're fucking not dominating your sport, right? Because I can't really say he dominated rugby, but he was at that point where it doesn't matter. He fought a lot of other tough guys. Yeah, you're holding your own against that kind of competition. I don't think he himself senses that fear. And I'm worried for Islam that he maybe is getting a little arrogant, just a bit, because of the reputation that his camp has. But it's also like we haven't seen Islam get knocked out because he has been knocked out in the cage. So
yeah,
I don't know. I do have concerns there for Islam, but I think it's going to be a fantastic fight. I think it's going to be, especially to kick off the year. Like, no offense to the light heavyweight title fight. That was a fantastic fight. The Jamal Hill and Teixeira fight, that was a killer. I think this will supersede it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Especially
so who's your choice? I don't think we ever heard your choice, did we?
Oh, Volkanovski. Volkanovski. Yeah. Oh, let's pick rounds. Let's pick rounds and method. Just for fun. I will say third round TKO.
That's exactly my pick. I've thought about this a lot, and but I feel to dive a little bit into it. Yeah, I do feel the first round they're going to fill each other out a bit. Second, Islam might shoot for some takedowns. We're going to see a lot of defense by Volk, and then I think he's going to turn it up in the third round once he feels a little more comfortable. He's at home. That's, I think, his biggest advantage is he's at home in front of his crowd, so that should play into his factor.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. I like the third round. I don't necessarily want to jump on the bandwagon on that one, but I think third round is a good.
Just be different and say first round submission. Volk. He's the taps on Islam.
That would be
that would be surprising.
That shit, though? If he just chokes him out first round.
Never live it down.
Just wipe your hands. It's done.
I don't know if y'all saw it, but one of the reasons I think Islam's getting a little arrogant is because he said Volk should have learned from his boy Adesanya. He moved up and wasn't ready, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but that's a 20-pound difference, and he only went up 10 pounds versus Volkanovski just needs to go 10 pounds, and he'll be bigger and stronger than, what he is in featherweight. So.
And then Izzy's a thin, lanky person anyway. It's not like he walks around much heavier than what he fights at.
It's not like he has the mass to, I get what you're saying.
So to me, that's not a stupid argument. It's just kind of like null and void.
Not a stupid argument.
One of my biggest concerns before when the fight got announced was Volk's size, and I don't mean so much his weight, but more so his reach, his height, his distance, and his ability to close the gap. But he actually has really long arms. Like, I think his reach is about an inch or inch and a half longer than Islam. So, I mean, hopefully using striking and that being his primary game plan, hopefully it plays a good a good factor in this.
I mean, he always closed in the distance with Holloway, and some people thought that was crazy for him to do, and he always stuck in there, fucking clobbering the man. So we'll see what happens. Y'all excited? Anything else about that fight card? Honestly, I mean, there's the interim.
Emmett, I guess, is another decent one.
The Yair fight, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only other one. The rest of the card I'm not really crazy about. I think the fans are in for a treat in the main event. But like Jay said, Josh Emmett's my pick.
Y'all worried that they're going to start stacking cards like this to where, like, no offense to the rest of the main card fighters, but, like, they're less known compared to, like, the two main fights? Like, are you concerned they're going to move? They're gonna make fight cards like this moving forward?
I think these next like 3 are gonna be a deciding factor on how the next fight cards go. If they have these 3 go out, which if they go out the way that we choose, I think they're gonna start stacking people like heavy. Like I think it's gonna be like super heavy fight cards because I have a feeling that this promotion is going to bring in a lot of people who don't normally watch fighting. They're just going to watch it because it's double champ fight.
True. One last thing, or a few last things before we move off this card. Who wins that interim featherweight title fight? And does Volkanovski, if he wins the lightweight title, does he move back down again?
I don't think he'll move back down.
So
you think he's already rounded the division that he has no reason?
Who's he going to fight?
The interim champion Yair, interim champ Emmett, because that's who's they're fighting. That's so stupid. They're fighting for the interim title, which is basically either if Oak wins, they're the champion officially.
Yeah.
You know, if he decides to vacate the title, because I don't think he'll go back down 145.
I don't think so either.
Well, I mean, he's defended it plenty of times. Yeah, there's no need to.
I mean, 3 fights against Holloway, Ortega, Zombie. I mean, the fucking list is on. I mean, he beat Aldo before the title fights.
He can walk if he does as well as we say he's going to. If he walks through 155, I mean, what else more can you say?
Will he be the shortest lightweight champion? No, right? Frankie Edgar's still that guy?
Yeah, I think he's shorter.
Okay. I mean, he was a scrapper too.
Now, actually,
he was a scrapper. All right,
Frankie
Mike.
Edgar?
Yair or
Josh Emmett? Last
Josh
fight
Emmett?
was fantastic. Josh Emmett.
Josh Emmett?
Yeah.
I don't like Yair, but I think he's gonna pull it out. Honestly, I
do you
do.
say that?
I think his striking is better. I think the one thing I dislike about Yair is his maturity. I think that outside the cage he's really immature and whatever, but I think inside the cage his striking is really good. I mean, it's not on par to the Holloways or the Volk and stuff like that, but compared to Emmett, and Emmett's also on the older side of things. Like he's like 37, 38. So, you know, Yair's going to be like younger, fresher. So I think he'll pull it out and become the new champion just for him to lose to Holloway. Yeah. Holloway, you get your title back, but, you know, with an asterisk.
Yeah.
With an asterisk.
I mean, he'd
be excited if Volk doesn't come back.
Exactly. Like he's gonna be like, oh, I'm the 145 champion, but you know, my daddy's right over there at 155. You know, so like
comes back down just to take it from you again.
You know, spank his ass one more time for the 4th time.
So, and this isn't to get too far off topic, but if because we know Oliveira's fighting Dariush, right?
Yes.
So, winner of that fight gets the title fight.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Okay. I would give it to him. Like if Oliveira won, like he was a good dominant champion, except for the weight scale fiasco, which was just stupid. But I think give him the title fight or Dariush. Dariush has got enough of a long resume to finally get a title shot.
Well, he dominated his last fight too, so I think if he beats Oliveira, then I think he deserves it.
I think I want to see the hungry Oliveira again, though. I want him to come in so pissed off that he lost to Islam that he's looking to get back that title like dominantly against Dariush. So we'll see how it goes. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, the Ultimate Fighter coaches, and they're supposed to fight towards September or something like that. What are we thinking? What are we thinking about the return of the Conor McGregor, the Notorious one? Yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited, man. And I'm not even a huge Conor McGregor fan, but I know how good he is for the sport. So I'm
Or
excited.
just good in general.
Yeah.
Promoter, entertainer. Look at him sideways and don't drink his whiskey, and he'll punch you, and you'll get free money. So I mean, I think that's another thing too.
Or he'll throw a fucking dolly through your window.
Oh man, that's so stupid. So they're gonna go be tough coaches. He's gonna re-enter the USADA pool again and all that shit. Which is gonna take 6 months for him to, like, test clean. By the way, do y'all think he has not been staying clean this whole time?
Fuck no. What the fuck? Fuck no.
I had to ask. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think he's cycled a couple times. Yeah.
You know what? It's that mentality. I think that fucking Anderson Silva had to do it, like, after his leg break too. But Anderson Silva said it was dick pills. Maybe Conor will say the same thing again. So I don't know. But looking at it, let's go at the tough position first. Who's gonna be the winning coach? Who's gonna lead their guys? Who's the better coach overall, you think?
I think Chandler is the better coach.
Mike?
I say McGregor.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going Conor. I think he's a little more tactical. I think even as a counter fighter, I think Conor does a good job of distancing himself and reading and striking. Nothing against Chandler. I'm actually a huge Chandler fan. I think he's super exciting. I think Chandler always brings energy. I've picked him multiple times and he's let me down, but it is what it is. But I think from a coaching standpoint, I think his experience, I think Conor's ability, even after taking some losses that he probably shouldn't have taken, I think he's going to be able to pass it down and help his team get the victory.
The last time
he's a little hot-headed
as a coach, he could be.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Last time he was a coach, he was going against Team Uriah Faber. His guy Artem Lobov, who is currently suing him, lost in the finals against Team Faber's guy. So
That's tough, man.
So yeah, that's your buddy, and unfortunately, sometimes you can't. It is what it is. Thanks to you, McGregor. This is Mott's, by the way. I miss those days when we take Mott shots.
What about you?
I'll say I think Chandler. I think Chandler will be the better. So normally, here's how I see it. I think if you win as a coach, I think you lose in the fight.
Okay.
Maybe. So you have McGregor winning the fight?
In the fight, winning. Yeah. When they step in the cage, whatever they do.
What have you seen from McGregor as of late that's making you pick McGregor?
I think, well, besides the little needles or pills he's taking to boost himself up. Now, I mean, I think McGregor. I think the humiliation of getting beat back to back against Poirier is going to motivate him to want to, like, I need to get back to Poirier. Like, not even the title right now. He needs to get back to Poirier to get that fair, I guess now 4 fight, where his leg hopefully will, hold up this time.
Do you think the bag has soiled McGregor?
Oh, for sure. When he got that Floyd money, he's not been the same since. Like, he's been like lazy. He's been coasting on that shit ever since.
People say it was Khabib.
No.
In my opinion, it was the money.
Yeah.
And you see it, I mean, in his mentality. I mean, you saw how hungry he was, man. He spoke different. His interviews were a bit different. And
he moved different.
He looked a lot. And that's, I guess, what I'm a little worried about now that he's a lot bigger is how stiff he's going to be. Because one thing I think that brought him a lot of success, he was very nimble.
Fast.
And very fast, and he moved really well. He had a nice wide stance, and I don't know how well he's going to be now that he weighs more.
Another thing that contributes is that I think what McGregor's opponents have done well, like Poirier and even Khabib, is that they know how to go after his like with the leg kicks and stuff, and like slow down his movement. And Michael Chandler, for as feisty as he is on the stand-up, he doesn't know what the fuck a leg kick is. So I think that's where his disadvantage comes in, is that he won't know how to slow him down. I think in a lot of ways this will be kind of a repeat of how McGregor beat down Eddie Alvarez when he won.
That's exactly what I was going to say too. He's just going to be too fast at that weight for him.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen. He doesn't post anything like training wise. He's very behind the curtain type of shit. So I don't really see anything from him. So I don't know. I mean, I would pick McGregor as well, but I don't know.
I mean, and it's not to say like also like Chandler, you know, as great or as talented as he is, every fight he's lost, and you'll see, has been by a finish and by TKO, or you know, the Justin Gaethje fight. I mean, he survived that one, but to get to the judges, but I mean, otherwise he got fucking wrecked in fight of the year. But his last fight with Dustin fucked him up bad. So I'm like, I think Connor's striking skills are still better than Dustin's. Dustin just played it smarter by going after the legs. And then, and I think too, at the same time, McGregor was letting him get himself hit too many times. He gets into that habit of like, okay, I can take your hit.
Overreaching and exposing himself. Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm. So I think he'll adjust that better against Chandler. Personally, I think so. But I mean, who do y'all got? I know, Jay, you just said McGregor is your pick. Mike, you feel the same?
Yep. Like I said, man, Chandler's let me down before. Yeah, I'm going McGregor because of his striking.
Nice.
I think Chandler. One of Chandler's biggest issues, he gets gassed and winded pretty fast because of the amount of intensity that he comes out with. And when you come out with that aggression and intensity against someone like McGregor, who, I mean, you saw him, what he did to Aldo on a counter. You see how good he is as a striker and how tactical he is, man. I don't think it's going to work well in Chandler's favor.
Well, in Chandler, too, he likes to carry people. Like, when he takes them down, he never, does it quick. He picks them up and, walks and, slams them and shit. It's just wasted energy, man. I think he tries to do that. He's going to get pieced up.
Yeah, I mean, he had ample opportunities to become the lightweight champion against Oliveira. That was a real back and forth. Then the second round happened and it was over. He blinked and it was done. All right. So enough McGregor there. We don't want to get into legal troubles because he'll sue everybody. Let's real talk real quick about John Bones Jones. The GOAT is back. The GOAT is back, ladies and gentlemen. He is the GOAT of MMA. I don't care if you don't believe me, but he is. He has 0 losses. Fuck the 12-6 disqualification, all right? He has 0 losses, and he's back. But it's not against Francis Ngannou. It's Ciryl Gane.
I knew that was going to happen.
And that's because the UFC failed to negotiate a good contract with Ngannou where he would be happy to resign. So now we have a vacated title. John Bones Jones, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane kind of tested Francis Ngannou, tested him to the limit last time they fought. It turned Ngannou into a wrestler, surprisingly. Not what I expected, but I mean, Jay, you've seen John Jones as long as I have, I think. So, I mean, you tell me how you feeling about him coming back and what are his chances to becoming the heavyweight champion?
I'm going to start it off like I've been telling everybody. If he doesn't crawl to Gane, it's going to be a rough fucking night. If he crawls to Gane, I think he just dominates him. But if he doesn't, I think it is going to be one hell of a night.
Dominates him on his feet, or he dominates him with malicious intent, like ground and pound?
I think he's going to do all of it. Everything that we've seen him do, he's going to do it all. He's going to put his hand in your face and fucking smack you. He's going to try to kick your knee out.
Poke your eye out.
Oblique
kicks.
I think he's going to do it all.
What song does he walk out to?
Oh, he's a New Yorker, right? Jay-Z? Some Jay-Z?
Because I mean, after that long of an absence, man, his entrance is going to have to be peak.
Where's the fight at?
I don't think he's going to do the Ray Lewis dance in this one.
Okay.
I think he's going to come out just cold.
Head down or heads up? I mean, he's back for the first time, bro. Like, what is it, 3 years?
Yeah.
4 years?
Maybe DMX.
Okay. So you think it's an aggression song? You don't think he comes out to Sweet Dreams or something like? Well, I guess Sweet Dreams, but something slow. You think it's a? You think he's trying to send a message?
I think he's coming out with guns blazing. like ready to kill somebody type shit.
I like it. I like it. John Jones wins or Ciryl Gane?
You asking me? You're asking Mike?
Both. Either whoever wants to go first.
Jones.
I say Jones.
I agree with Jones. And it's nothing to disrespect Ciryl Gane. I think he's a fucking well-rounded fighter. But we saw his weakness, and it's wrestling. And fuck it, regardless of how he does things, that's actually Jones's strength, right? Like so. And even if he's moving up a weight class, and I told Jay, I think my only thing, my concern for Jones is that I hope he's trained well in these last 3 years to really figure out like how to keep his cardio in line at the same level that he had light heavyweight. Because now he's going to be fighting maybe around 245, 240. That's like 30, 40 pounds bigger than what he, fought in light heavyweight. Even though, yes, he made some water weight back before, everything. But it's a whole different feel, I think.
And
especially if he's not size.
In addition to the weight, he was also on or off something that maybe could help or enhance a performance. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of, there's...
Hey, man, cocaine does some weird things to you, okay?
You know what I'm saying, man? Like... So, yeah, I agree, though. I think his cardio is going to be one thing that if it holds up well, like Jay said, I think he's going to fully dominate this fight, man. I think he has a message to send, very much like Conor McGregor. I think the return of both of them is going to be good for the UFC.
I'll say he does the same thing like he did with Alexander Gustafsson. There you go, where he did the rematch and he beat him faster than the first time they fought. I think he does the same thing. I think he makes a case like, the champ is back, the gold is back, all that shit. He's here.
Mm-hmm.
Gane better watch out. You might be sleeping like Machida did, fucking in the corner.
I'll say this: if Gane loses, I don't know anyone else that is a threat to Jones. Like, no offense to like the rest of the heavyweight division.
It's, I don't think anybody. It would have been Francis, but he's gone now.
So let's talk about Francis. What does Francis do now? Does he go to PFL, Bellator? Does he box one of these big names like Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua?
Get a bag.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, it's not like you have to prove anything. Everybody knows you can fight, but
there's levels to it.
Well, and then there's that doubt, right? Like Tyson Fury can take a punch.
Yeah.
He can
take a fucking punch. So could he take Ngannou's punch? Maybe.
Doesn't Ngannou have the technique to land? Doesn't Ngannou have the technique to land?
That's the thing. I don't think so. I mean, Tyson Fury is a very, very fucking good fighter, even at that weight.
Who has extremely incredible cardio for his size. Fantastic cardio.
And he's not
his movement too. Fuck.
Man. And I think he's mentioned it before. Like, this is I know it's comes out, but it's still kind of on par with what we're talking about. He's mentioned it before. Like, he understands that there's a difference between the MMA and boxing, right? He's not going to go and fight Canelo because he understands, like, hey, I'm going to lose. Like, there's levels to it. But I think a lot of these guys, like Jay said, at some point, especially with Francis, you don't have a future with the UFC right now. Go get a bag. Go train. Go, do as much as you can possibly do to keep yourself safe and possibly win. And go get paid at the same time. Why not?
To the people that are arguing, like, oh, Francis shouldn't have turned down that $8 million, no pay-per-view point contract that he was offered. He'll never make that kind of money anywhere else. Man, shut the fuck up. Conor McGregor made a fucking $100 million in one fucking fight. You don't think two giant heavyweights is gonna get him at least a minimum of $50 million?
Yeah, and it's a matter of principle. The UFC unfortunately doesn't want to agree to some of the stuff and it's not even ridiculous things that he was asking for. It's a matter of principle. To some people, that's worth more than money.
Yeah, and so good for Francis. He's probably the first fighter to really try to stand up for everybody. I mean, obviously the UFC does not want a fighters union or anything like that, so it is what it is. But Francis, I mean, I look forward to what he does in the future. Hopefully, it's a fight against Tyson Fury. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Speaking of the Furies, God, can we stop fucking hearing about Tommy Fury and Jake Paul? Like, dead ass.
It's official now, though. But
how many times has it been official though? Like, this is like the 5th time. It's like fucking Khabib and Tony Ferguson, except this one I don't want to see.
Yeah,
you're not gonna watch it.
I don't care. I don't care.
You're not gonna watch it. You're just gonna catch it.
You're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it.
I haven't watched a single fight of his, man.
I don't care for Jake Paul in any fashion.
I think it's more
just don't
Tommy
care
Fury for me. I don't care for Tommy Fury at this point. He's like, how do you avoiding this many fights against Jake Paul? That's where you lose respect for me. Like, you're the one that's looking like you're running away. Like, fuck Jake Paul. We get it. YouTube guy, whatever. Like, he can fight fight KSI and Salt Poppy. I think that's his name. They can go fight those guys. Why is Tommy Fury, brother of Tyson Fury, running from? And it looks like he's running from Jake Paul. So I'm just like,
well, for one, you ain't your brother. Let's get that straight. You ain't even close to your brother.
yeah, but you got. I mean, so you think he's gonna lose? You think he's gonna get that embarrassment?
I don't think it's gonna be a one-sided fight, but if he fought the way he fought his last fight, he's fucking take the Fury name away from you.
It'll just be Tommy.
Just Tommy.
His dad and his brother will disown him.
I'd rather see Fury fight Usyk, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, if we're going back to the Furies, I would rather see him fight him. Nothing against Francis. I just don't think he's ready for that caliber of a boxer right now.
I mean, but in any case, like, honestly, like, what high level boxer that will potentially get him money is he ready for? Right? Like, nobody.
Maybe Joshua.
Right? Like,
maybe Joshua.
I mean, Joshua's on the slump, I guess. Yeah. But
that's who I would say for him to fight, because he's not fighting Usyk. That's a bad idea. He's not.
No.
I don't think he should fight Tyson. That's just me. Maybe Wilder. He's got like fucking 40 pounds on Wilder. They both throw wild fucking punches.
Yeah, you got
Wilder's a bag too.
You got me intrigued more on that one right now. If he can make at least a minimum of 50 mil, sign the contract. Fucking make it happen.
With Wilder, he will.
He will. Wilder's
I'm not saying he wouldn't do it. I'm saying will like Wilder's camp and them do it, because Fury has been open.
Wilder won't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like Fury has said openly he'll do something like that, but it's Wilder, it's Joshua, that they haven't really talked about Fury. I mean, Francis, respectively. So he's not in their realm, but
I think
that one I actually would be more intrigued to see. For sure. I think that would be a lot closer.
They both throw wild, right? And I would say it should be a boxing match, because we all know if he gets into a mixed martial arts ring with Francis is going to throw his little skinny ass around.
It'd be funny. That'd be funny as hell to see. We haven't seen someone on a boxer get his ass thrown around since James Toney got beat up by Randy Couture.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more practical for a UFC fighter to go into a boxing match than vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a big skill gap.
There's so much more added on when you go mixed martial arts. You got to start watching people's legs. You got to worry about takedowns. Like it's a
you don't have the speed, right? You don't have the speed of a boxer.
Yeah.
And you don't have the hand placement and accuracy of a boxer, but you have takedowns. You got leg kicks.
Which I give credit to a bunch of UFC guys or just mixed martial artists that go and box, because it takes discipline not to throw a kick, man. I'm sorry, but if I was fighting MMA and I went to go box, dude, and I was in the middle of a fight and naturally
every time I've seen it.
You know what I mean?
And then you start getting beat.
Man, yeah, man. Naturally, I would want to throw a kick or I'd tackle him or something like that.
If I was Anderson, I'd have kicked Jake Paul in his fucking head.
See, and it's funny. I just wanted to transition to it because I sent it to y'all a few days ago about the Game Bread Boxing, the fourth show, which is owned by Jorge Masvidal, which will be headlined by Anthony Pettis and Roy Jones Jr. And it's filled with a bunch of MMA guys who are going to be purely boxing.
Like Roy Jones isn't the same Roy Jones anymore.
I get that.
He's not the same. Like Tyson looked very similar, just older than his previous self. Roy Jones looks nothing like his previous self.
Roy Jones also had fought more recently than Tyson. Tyson had got like a decade plus since that previous fight. I think Roy was like maybe like a year or two from retirement fight. You know, so
for me, I just think that's.
But do you think
money? I don't know.
Yeah, he probably does. I mean, if he's going to Jorge Masvidal for cash, you know he needs money. So real quick, in that sense, he's fighting Anthony Pettis, former UFC former WEC lightweight champion, who hasn't had really much momentum going on since he lost the titles. Do you think Roy Jones Jr. loses to Anthony Pettis in a boxing match? I think it's a 6-round boxing match. I'll double check to be correct. Yeah, 6 rounds.
Yeah, 6 rounds. 6 or 8, but yeah, I think it's 6.
The boxing fanatic in me just wants to say no.
Oh, sorry. This one currently says 8. It could be 6,
8.
but it's 1 or 2.
What's the time on it?
It's should be 3 minutes each round.
Who do you think's more active? Because I think that's what's going to be a big.
I think Pettis is more active.
I think
Pettis
it's going
more,
to be more active,
but I think the power is still in Jones's hands. Because I think Pettis, what I hate about Pettis more recent years is that he conforms to fight his opponent's pace, and if he doesn't become the aggressor to want to kind of like Tyron Woodley to really be more the aggressive part against either a less experienced or an older fighter, then they tend to lose. And so I don't know why I have Roy Jones winning, even if it's just by decision. But only because I don't see the killer instinct in Anthony Pettis right now. He isn't as Showtime as he once was.
I could see him point beating him.
Anthony over Roy or Roy over Anthony?
Roy over Anthony.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I don't see him knocking him out. I think it's more points.
I'm okay with your decision.
What's your decision?
That I would go Roy.
I know how much you love Roy. I know how much you respect his career. So I know that one. So even think about wanting to say Anthony Pettis is like a slap to the face of everything you respect about this man.
It kind of pains me. I ain't gonna lie.
So just say it. So Anthony Pettis, say Showtime.
No.
Say it. Knock out by front kick. Illegal move.
He jumps off the cage again.
Jumps off the ropes, hits him with a fucking flying kick.
Fucking bite his ear off. Tyson that shit.
No shit. Hell no. The other fights on the card. Vitor Belfort versus Jacare Souza. Is TRT Vitor back?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Bro, that man was a beast. TRT Vitor was a beast.
Belfort, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stevens.
Come on, dog.
Come on, you gotta ask, bro. Come on. You the people want to know Aldo or Stevens.
Aldo,
obviously.
I didn't hear Mike's though. Mike, who you choosing for Roy Jones and Pettis?
Oh yeah, Pettis. Okay, I like it. And you chose TRT Tour and Aldo for Stevens. Yeah. Do y'all know much about Puro Gonzalez? She used to fight for the UFC. No. All right, she's fighting Gina Mazzani. Good luck, kid.
Give her a gold star. Hey, you did a great job. Have fun.
Right. There's Paul Daly who got himself banned from the UFC, and I think this Anthony Taylor guy is a YouTube guy too. So
for punching Koscheck or some shit after.
So good luck.
No,
guys.
it was Dylan. What's his name? I was gonna say Dylan Brooks, but that's not right. Someone should punch Dylan Brooks. What's it called? That stupid twerp that fucking hung around with Conor McGregor and got hit by Khabib when the whole cage shit happened. When he ran out. I can't remember.
Don't matter. Fuck.
I can't remember. He rocked him and it was funny. Dylan Dennis. There you go. God damn, I had to Google it. That pendejo. All right.
Isn't he running from Jake too?
He ran from KSI.
Oh, that's
he's been running, bro. Especially as of late, it's been kind of annoying.
He talks big, but he doesn't show up for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all the fight talk I got. That's all I have. Mike, real quick, because I already have you on here. I might as well fucking ask you. How you feeling about Russ getting traded to Utah?
I'm happy.
He's out of there?
I'm happy for him. I'm not that I'm happy that he's gone, like as a Lakers fan, I guess, so to speak. Because I felt like he was playing well as a six man. We talked about this the other day. He was bringing a lot of productivity off the bench, and the Lakers were benefiting from him. But I think a big thing for him, his first year, was that he dealt with so much from the Laker fan base and media and things like that. And I don't think he ever, even with his success as of recently, I don't think he's ever really gotten comfortable being there. So I feel like just having a clean slate, being able to go in Utah, being able to be more of a focal point on that team, I feel just like he was in Oklahoma City Thunder, I feel like he succeeds a lot better whenever he's
kind of the star.
yeah.
So you think he
yeah.
sticks around Utah? He doesn't go for a buyout or anything?
Money talks, big dog.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to deny, but not immediately, man. No. I'm sure Spence is happy.
I mean, that's a good person to have. And
because I want to see old Russ, man. Like he's been one person in the league that's always played with this, like wore his heart on his sleeve, always played his heart out.
Well, he's the only one that was trying to win last night.
I do what I want, Russ. That's who you want.
I want to see him have success, man. Ultimately, I want him to have a ring. If he's going to get it in Utah, that's a lot less likely than.
Where can he get a ring? Do you think he goes to Brooklyn if he gets a buyout? Do you see a reunion with KD? Or KD runs away?
Man, KD needs to go to Portland. I already said that. Portland, yeah. Dame and KD would be nice.
Even though everybody wants Dame out. More importantly,
but that's wise because he doesn't have any help. At least having KD there, you know what I mean. It'll give him purpose and reason to stay, bring more success to the team.
You trade away what's it called, Gary Trent, and you bring in Russ and KD, and you put that trio with Dame. You put that. Woo,
you think Russ and Dame will be okay together?
Yeah,
I think Russ is accepted. Like he could, like even he'd be okay still coming off the bench anywhere. Like
I guess after playing with Patrick Beverley, right? You kind of have to mature a bit and understand, like, hey, I got to put the team's success before mine if I want to stay in this league.
I mean, and then when Dame and Kate, I guess let's say that actually happened, right? And Dame and KD were off the bench. I mean, fucking who's the spark plug? Fucking Russell Westbrook. That fucking beast is back. And like I said, like even last night we were talking about LeBron. Congratulations on your big success, but you're not trying to win the game. Russell was the only one fucking driving in the basket after LeBron took himself out to try to still win the game.
Speaking of LeBron,
that hunger still there.
You mentioned it last night, man. He dropped 36, essentially 38 and 3 quarters. But I mean,
what the fuck is that the entire time?
Yep, it takes you breaking a record to pull that dog out in you. Even at his age, I know people were gonna say, "Oh, well, he's a little bit older. He doesn't have that type of gas tank." Like, you guys got to understand, like LeBron, since he's been in this league, has been a specimen. This man is focused on health, and he's always put himself in the best possible situation to remain healthy and play at a high pace throughout the entirety of his career. There's no reason why he still shouldn't be able to do it.
I just don't think his mind's in
like
LA
winning a
anymore.
Championship.
I just don't think he's in that mindset anymore. Because
I mean, think about it. For a guy who's 38 years old, year 20, is still averaging 30 points a game. It's
27 and 7 and 7.
Oh, I think it increased because last night's game.
You know, he's never gotten that stat line. Have you seen that before?
The 27, 7 and 7?
So for his career, I think it's 27, 7 and 7, I think, or 28. But for his career, that's what his average has been. Yet he's never had that in a single game.
I mean, he's just that fucking insane. Let's be honest.
I got a question for you.
Go for it. I started something.
Do you think Jokic can break Russell's record? Because if anybody's going to do it, it would be him.
The triple-double? He can. Luka has – I think Luka, because he's the younger one, I think he can. He's basically been kind of starting it since his like fucking first 2 years, right? Like he's kind of like, dipped his hand in there and to do it. I think honestly they could both do it because in this day and age, the way everything goes, they could both fucking break it. Whoever is the leader one at the end, I'll say Luka. Because I think also what's gonna hold back Joker is that the bigger men have a shorter career than the smaller guys, depending on how they treat their bodies and everything. And we know the way that the offense goes around Joker, he's going to use up a lot more of his body, his legs, than freaking Luka is. Luka's kind of been doing this since he was like fucking 2 years old, to be fair. So I think he just knows how to pace himself to like fucking keep this at a high level.
So now that we're speaking of Luka, you're happy about the Kyrie trade?
Dude, like I mentioned yesterday's episode, even though the guys were unhappy about, or they don't like Kyrie and his shit, like, I get that I understand that completely. But as a teammate for Luka, for what Luka had previously, this is great for him. I think it's fantastic. Luka has not had any help. He's had Porzingis, washed up Porzingis, right? This is after Achilles tear Porzingis. He had Jalen Brunson. Brunson is not the level
Trey was
of
your head coach. You'd be ecstatic for Porzingis, right?
What did you say? I missed that. What did you say?
I said if Trey was your head coach, you'd be ecstatic for Porzingis, right?
Oh yeah, Trey. I don't know what that pick was, man.
It's okay. We'll be doing another draft soon. Hopefully, more basketball drafts. So that'll be fun. Mike, we'll put you in there so you can see your shit there. Jay, I don't know if you want to do the basketball ones. I know you're more football man, so.
I mean, I've been talking to Mike about basketball a lot lately, actually, but I'm not as in it as you guys, so I should probably.
So do you think your drafting level would be more around the Art level, or do you think it'd be more around the Alex level?
Get the fuck out of here! Both of them, Alex and Justin Jefferson is fucking not elite. So we're going to football now, but come on, I don't trust anything you have to say anymore. You put Dwight Howard at fucking 10. That's wild to me. Art has the dumbest fucking opinions ever. How the fuck? Fuck out of here.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. I just started the pot. Jay just went with it.
Damn, he just fucking rolled it.
That's funny. Love you guys, though. But
I am curious, though. I'm going to ask because I didn't actually ask last night. Alex, I hopped on the video, the live kind of late yesterday. But yeah, you had Dwight Howard at 10 and Moses Malone, I'm going to say at 6. I ended up catching it kind of late on a YouTube short. But you had Moses Malone at like 6, I think. And I just wanted to know what the reason for that was. You said it was a lot of or you said the reason that you put Shaq above Kareem was because he was more dominant. His peak was better yet. I don't think Moses Malone is better than Dwight Howard. I don't think his peak was better than Dwight Howard. I also don't agree that he's more dominant than Dwight Howard. So that was my only, I guess, pick error at your draft was I just wanted to make sure that everybody else, how they're saying, oh, I'm putting these guys in this area and this guy here on my draft because of success, that, I understood yours as well. That way I can better understand your draft.
Do you have any critique about anyone else's stuff? I know you were on.
Tony Parker wouldn't be in my top 10. I said that yesterday, though. I know you said he'd be in yours. He wouldn't be in mine, but
I didn't catch what you said. What did you say?
You're just doing that because I did that, man. That's not cool. No, I'll play. I said Tony Parker wouldn't be in my top 10. Okay. I think he was a fantastic player for the Spurs. I think he's one of the best point guards, one of the best European point guards, if you want to call him that, ever. But I wouldn't have him on my top 10. I think there's 10. I can go through and I can pick 10 point guards that I think are better than Tony Parker. Now, if we're talking from a success standpoint, then sure, yeah, go ahead, put him on your top 10. I understand why. I'm not the type of person really that looks too much as far as success. That's a whole reason why I'm going to put you in my top 10. No, you have to at least be skilled. That's why I wouldn't have anybody before the 70s, or it'd be hard for me to put anybody in the 60s or 70s in my top 10, just because the evolution of basketball does change. Rules do change. Players are favored in certain ways than others. And we've talked about this before when we talk about the GOAT debate. It's so hard to pick who's the greatest of all time because there's so many variables. There's rules.
It's only going to elevate from here, right?
Yeah, people are talking Victor Wembanyama already. He's a fantastic talent. What he does with it, how the rules are in 20 years, how he utilizes it or capitalizes on it. I mean, I don't know what that's going to be.
Some people that have been arguing against the Wembanyama hype train have said, well, isn't that just basically Bo? But, with he's going to get minutes.
Bobo's nice.
I think so, too. I think Bobo needs more opportunities. He's been doing good for the Magic, I think.
I agree. But no, man. Getting back on topic with what you asked, like I said, most of their drafts were solid. I enjoyed watching it. I think everybody had a pretty solid draft. I was just had a few questions.
Top 10 list.
Or top 10. Sorry, top 10 list. I think you guys had a pretty solid top 10.
I
James,
can't
I'm
wait
so
to hear
excited to
James.
see. Yeah, I'm still excited to see yours, man. So
Mine?
I'm sure.
No, James.
No, James.
Oh, I thought you said Jay. I was like, no, I think we've talked about it already. But
I mean,
At the end of the day,
Jay,
everything is biased, man. That's what makes it so hard. It's good barbershop talk, but
well, it's your opinion, right? Like you can have your own opinion. I don't have to agree with your opinion, but
I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna force these. I appreciate you.
I liked Jose's all-time football draft too.
I didn't like Jose's.
Thank you. Thanks for hating me.
Top 10. Now your top 10 was cool, bro. Tracy McGrady was my only concern, and you showed my boy some respect. So,
I mean, like I tried to explain to guys, it's like the Vince Carter thing. I think his later years, and I think I told you, like, and you mainly brought it up, the fact that he took those seasons off where he was, It's like, oh, you're averaging 15, but all of a sudden, new team, and you're averaging 26. It's like Randy Moss with the Raiders, and then with the Patriots. It's like, why are you only averaging 5 yards, and then you're averaging over here fucking 110 yards a game? Like, the fuck.
Yep.
So it is what it is. But otherwise, I think everyone on a good list. I'm excited for James's list.
When is his supposed to come out?
Whenever he's able to back on.
Right?
Yeah, he's doing power forwards. Whenever he's able to hop on again. Hopefully by next week. Power forwards should be fun. I mean, I know Tim Duncan will be his number one. But
where does he put Giannis? Where does
he put Karl Malone? That's why I wonder.
You think he puts Giannis above Dirk? Because that's tough, man. Like, Tim Duncan's a lock for number one. I'm not telling you how to do your list, James, but Tim Duncan's a lock for number one for sure. But where do you put Giannis?
I think right now, because if we're saying just success, I would say it's Dirk completely because of his body of work. But if you're talking about peak and dominance, I would say Giannis, and that's where everyone's list is different. Like how we were talking about yesterday, it just depends on what he's listing for mainly. Dominance or success or overall between the two, how you measure it. Personally, I have right now Dirk, but honestly, that's just because, like I said, that's more layout. Giannis, to me, at the end of his career, will definitely surpass that easily. I think Giannis already surpassed, because I have my list. I think he's already surpassed KG. I think he's better than Malone because I think Malone benefited from having Stockton in his entire career, essentially. And then that year that he jumped with the Lakers is kind of like the stupidest thing I ever saw in my life. But that's just whatever.
Do you think John Stockton, I'm just asking a random question here, but this was a debate that I had about a week ago. Do you think John Stockton is a better point guard than Chris Paul?
Weren't you and I having this conversation?
No. I have Paul ahead of him. I have Paul ahead of him. But
on your all-time list?
Yeah, but they're not that far apart.
So are you saying they could flip-flop if you wanted them to?
I think I wouldn't be mad if I hear someone like they're literally one spot away from each other. Let's say that one was 21, the other one was 22, something like that.
What puts Chris Paul above John Stockton?
I think his leadership, his mindset, his no disrespect to Stockton, right? Because I think he's one of the best passers of all time, even though you have a lot of people who disagree with that. I don't think he had the leadership. I don't think he could lift up teams and the guidance that CP3 has been able to do with every team he's hopped on with. He carried New Orleans, the Hornets, whatever the fuck they were at the time, Pelicans. He fucking lifted up the Clippers. That was the closest the Clippers have been to a title or, to sniffing a title. He fucking took OKC to the playoffs when this team was supposed to be bottom 5, according to every, analytical fucking person in the world. He took them to the playoffs, and he took the Suns with who I think you agree with me, Mike. Still, Devin Booker's now been impressive. He took that team to the finals. So, yes, Stockton had Malone essentially his entire career, and they went to a few finals. But I think what Paul has done to elevate other teams is greater than what Stockton has done in his career. So that's why
what about you, Jay? Do you have Chris Paul above John Stockton? Johnny Yes?
Johnny, yes.
Johnny.
Damn. It's like picking my number 5. Fucking sucks. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you look at the...
To be fair, I watched more of Paul than I did of Stockton.
I mean,
We're all in that same boat, to be fair. Like, live in person, like what we've grown up to, we see more Paul. But, like, everything that you put in Paul about, like, compared to Stockton, he's done better, and his career's not even done yet. Points per game, better. Rebounds, better. Assists, one assist less. That's it. Like, it's not even that far apart. Steals, right there. They're equal. Blocks, obviously, they're short as hell, so they're equal there. But I'm not even going to count All-Stars. They have the same number of All-NBAs. Career's not done yet. He has more. He's a better steals leader, CP3 over Stockton, and people praise Stockton for his defense. So imagine the fucking CP3 being the guy who stole more times than you did. Assist leaders, that's Stockton. I mean, the dude was a machine, but otherwise, there's not really much. I think CP3, like I said, is just a little bit better, and his leadership is what puts it over for me. I still don't have more bad boy Piston IT though. But that's just because I respect Isaiah.
that's fair.
He's at, like CP3's at 5 for me. Like of my point guards, he's at 5.
So then you have who? Isaiah Thomas, Steph, Curry, and Magic. But who's the other one?
I put Big O. I know you're not a big O guy, but I actually do like the Big O.
I think he's better than Russell Westbrook.
I think, like I said. But the layout is Big O. But if you put the peak, I'll definitely. So again,
it's tough because then if I ask you like, okay, you're putting the team together, and
that's how we discussed the Derrick Rose thing last night too. It's like yes,
exactly
like,
same thing. Like you could either put Oscar Robertson or Russell Westbrook. Who are you gonna put? Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
he's not above him. You know what I mean? It's like
And fucking the Lakers have kicked my boy's knees and made him fucking submit to 6 man. So hopefully he does better. Hopefully, wherever, if he stays in Utah or if he goes somewhere that's a championship contender.
Success, bro. Good luck.
But what if he goes to Dallas too? What if he's the bench player for Kyrie Luka? It's just a guard-centric team now.
Then I'm going to Dallas to go watch some games. For sure.
Oh man, that would be stupid. Definitely would be stupid. You should join us for the next draft if the guys are still down with it. Because I think you might have heard it. I told them we should do a decades NBA draft.
Yeah, I heard you yesterday.
But you could choose like one player from each decade. I don't know if I'm going to set the rules where you can't pick. There can't be 3 different LeBrons. Like you can only have one. That's it.
You just choose them every time.
I want 2000s LeBron as my small. I want 2010s as my point, and I want 2020 as my power forward. Like now.
That's cool.
So then that'd be fun.
So
Jay, you should be on for the next all-time football draft because I know that one you'll fucking have a good fucking time with, and you won't be picking a defense or kicker first.
I'm very surprised that Barry Sanders went so late in your guys' shit.
But to be fair, he actually after being reviewed, he wasn't even picked.
Yeah, I was like, the fuck is going on here, dude?
I like it. I like all day. I'm sorry. I like all day. I apologize.
I'm thinking of my draft right now.
He's like,
I got 3 out of them. I'm like 3. Okay, I need 2 more.
That'll be fun. All right. Well, I got nothing more to say. I'm kind of like winded from last night's. How long did we game for?
Today? What time did you wake up?
I took Julian to my mom's like around like 9:30, so I only got like 2-3 hours of sleep there after we got done gaming.
Hey, but he's champ though, bro.
Trying to get those wins, Papi.
That's all I need left.
And then get the wheel.
Hey, look at this, Jay. I'm just happy I held my own in 2s, and we didn't end up losing. Okay, I'm not saying I'm good enough to be champ. I'm just saying I'm glad I didn't hold back. There was that 5:30 a.m. moment where I was like, I'm tired. I can't no more. I can't continue. And Mike was like, we keep going or we die.
Bro, he was I think like 30 MMR away from champ. So he was like 3 games away. I was like, dude, just play the last 3 games, get champ, and then we'll call it a night, and then you get your wins tomorrow or whatever.
Jose, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you're good enough for champ?
I think playing with y'all for like the last few years where I've been a platinum player and had to face champ guys has prepared me to where I was able to do good, like I said with Mike last night, playing all these diamond players and champ players. No, I'm not good enough yet, but I can hold my own enough to where I'm not a fucking bronze level disappointment. AIT for life, though.
There was a game yesterday where he had 3 or 4 goals. I think 3 goals, and
Yeah,
there was
he had 6 saves.
there was like a minute left in the game, and he goes, "Bro, I have 3 goals. How do you have more points than me? It's those monstrous 6 saves you have."
He had like 200 more points than me, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
Like, bro, saves are worth a lot. Dude.
Make it make sense.
Especially epic ones. He be doing that shit. He be like letting you
Letting
fucking
it
heart
roll
drop.
right to the
You know, the half the ball be in the fucking net, and they hit it out. I'm like, bro, thank fucking God.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just want those champ wheels now. That's all I want. And then after that, I can retire from Rocket League. The same way, Jay, you've retired apparently from Apex. You don't love me no more. You sick fuck.
I didn't retire from it. I'm taking a hiatus. Look at what happened when I took a hiatus off of Rocket League. I came back addicted now.
Oh, so when you come back, you'll be a diamond level, or you'll be masterclass, Apex Predator.
We'll see. Right? Let the Mac come back at his own time, okay? Don't be rushing the process.
Oh, is that how Conor McGregor thought about it too?
I wish I could do that shit. I don't have the money for that, dog. I wish I could take trend and shit. That'd be lit.
TRT would be funny as hell.
How big would you want to get?
Like as far as weight?
Let's say weight and like an appearance size. Yeah.
I would like to be like C-Bum.
Yeah.
I'd like to be like C-Bum with Arnold's chest.
Okay.
I'll be back. But not Josh Hart. He got traded to the Knicks. He's gone.
But that would be a very, very far process. You wouldn't be able to just jump on trend and look exactly like them in a year, even of like grinding. It would take a long ass time. But trend also makes your heart explode, so I'm not about that either.
Yeah, we don't need you looking like one of the victims of Mortal Kombat, okay?
I'm trying to smoke cigars on the yacht with my boys and shit.
It's like, calm down, Connor. Calm down. Let's get there first.
Jose put me on the Last of Us episode is coming out on Friday, not Sunday.
Yes. Thank you, Super Bowl.
Oh, so what time? At 8 again?
Probably, yeah.
But
yeah. Oh, and You is actually tomorrow, season 4. Not
I have to catch up. I stopped watching it. No, I watched the first 2 seasons. I need to watch the next one.
Yeah, the third one will blow your mind too.
The third one?
Series. The third season?
The third one's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking good. It's fucking awesome. All right, I'm gonna take a nap. So, y'all got any final thoughts? Y'all got anything to say? I might hop on the Xbox later.
Okay. Well, I'll be on. For sure.
I told Mike I'm probably gonna get the next, since I told him how back on slow with this shit. The next console will be PS5, just so I can play Hogwarts and Last of Us and God of War. So that'd be fun.
Everything's cross-party or cross-play, so it doesn't even matter.
I don't feel like starting over on Apex, though, but I'm going to get both consoles, but I'll start with the PS5. But anyways, guys, thank you for hanging around to hear our chit-chatter, just for off topic completely, but this is who we are. This is what we do. We talk a lot of shit, and we're going to continue this tonight. So thank you for watching. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Jay, for hopping on, man. Always love talking to y'all about fucking some sports, but fights. You know, hopefully they don't fight like that. You know, that would be embarrassing. But
that would be terrible. Imagine Francis comes out and goes,
"Open the door, open the door."
And the fucking podcast. And the motherfucking podcast.
Have I mentioned I'm tired?
Yeah, he's running on 2 hours of sleep. So.
Yeah, bro. Come on now.
I credit you for being able to like push through this and have the brain functionality to talk sports.
I was gonna do this last night with y'all. This was gonna be like 4 hours for me after the
I got home last
2 hours
night.
did with them.
I got home last night after getting rained on for a while, and I was like, "Yo, Jose, is it cool if we do it tomorrow? Man, I am tired." He was like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." I was
Hell
like,
yeah!
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the fights on Saturday. I hope y'all enjoyed Last of Us if you're fans. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl this weekend. Yo, Super Bowl predictions. What y'all got?
Fly, Eagles,
Eagles.
fly.
Eagles.
Both Eagles. Final
Fly,
scores?
Eagles, fly. I'll let him go first.
37-34.
Dang. Okay. I'm going 28-21.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn. Marcos feels like on an island alone. Just what?
Yeah, bro.
Can someone feed me? Please join me. Be my friend in this. But good luck to both teams. I already made my picks last night too. Eagles 21-20. Fucking tight ass score. So
Okay.
Tight.
But then more to loosen up. But anyways.
What's that? Motherfucker.
Look, if people don't know what that is, it's not an insult to nobody. Okay, I'm just saying. If they don't know, Google it. It's not that bad. You laugh. Shut up.
What
Shut
is
the
it?
fuck up.
What is it though?
I'm not gonna explain myself to you.
Oh.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Hey, that's one of them.
All right, guys. For Jay, for Mike, follow us at Puro Pinche Sports on Instagram, TikTok, and fucking Twitter at Pinche Sports Pod. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I am Jose Garza. We are Puro Pinche Sports, and we are out. Up in the night.